Yo, what's going on everyone? We're back with another video. Today is Sunday, and I like to make Sundays or Mondays the kind of PC tune-up day. There's nothing more frustrating than getting into a game and you have ping issues because something's updating, or just general issues, I guess we'll say. So what I'm going to walk you through is what I do every Sunday or Monday as my PC tune-up to make sure that everything's running tip-top shape. Some stuff I'm going to skim through really quick because it takes a long time to finish sometimes. And the first thing I'm going to do is, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you should have GeForce Experience. You might not have a desktop icon, but if you open that up, this is a simple way to make sure that your drivers, your game drivers, are all up to date. And you click drivers up here. GeForce Game Ready Driver, release date 04/15, check for updates. And you have the latest GeForce Game Ready driver. So that's done. That's one thing off the list. Next thing you're going to do is go to your settings, and you're going to go to update and security, and you're going to check for updates. Mine checks every single day, but sometimes I like to double check before I get started on a day that I'm either going to game a lot or potentially even make some content like I am now. So it's just kind of running its general check. I have noticed that it is really good to make sure that your Windows is up to date, because sometimes, whether you have it set or not, or maybe you haven't messed with the settings, it might actually try to update on its own while you're playing late at night. So now we have Windows up to date, we have the Game Ready drivers up to date, and now we're going to open up graphics card software. This is going to change greatly depending on the type of graphics card that you have. I have an EVGA, excellent company. I do have the RTX 2070 Super, and it runs really well. What I'm going to do now is just check to see if there's an update for the actual graphics card driver or potentially the software. And we have the latest software version. So what this does here now is it actually runs my fan speed and my clock speed. I do not overclock, but I do like to monitor my fan speed. And you can also control the LEDs and stuff like that here as well. So we're going to go ahead and close that. Now the next thing that you can do to make sure that everything is up to date is you can actually go into your motherboard software. For me, I have a Gigabyte Aorus Z390 Master, and here there's miscellaneous items, and I can go ahead and click the live update button. Right here it's going to populate and check for any updates related to the motherboard or the drivers needed, or maybe even some of the software that comes with the motherboard. And we're checking, and we're checking, and so there's no updates, but there is a Cloud Station utility that I can use. I don't really need that. One thing that we can do here is there's some software here that we have, and one that you can use and make sure is up to date is your BIOS. This will actually update your BIOS for you. When a motherboard comes out, there's usually new versions of the BIOS which can fix like speed issues with the memory or miscellaneous fixes. Really, it's just always good to make sure it's up to date. Right here we have the current BIOS version, Master F10. I'm going to click update from server, choose my closest server, and drum roll. Okay, so the latest version right now is version F10. So we have the latest version, and there's nothing that really needs to be updated. So all this would do at this point is reflash my BIOS. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and that's a majority. Now, two big tasks that we have here, and I'm going to skim through this quickly, is you want to go on a device manager. Now, I recommend doing this manually because I don't believe in paying for software that may not be efficient, because if you download a driver update or software, you'll actually see throughout the different softwares, some will detect that certain drivers need to be updated while others won't. It makes you wonder. So the true kind of like firm way to go through this is just to go through and click. And so we'll click Intel R USB 3.1, and you click update driver, search automatically for updated driver. Now this is a super tedious task. Maybe doing it weekly is a little excessive for you. For me, I don't mind, and I have the time. If you don't, maybe do it bi-weekly or even monthly, and you want to go through and do that for each and every device. And as you go through, you'll find even some devices that you have set up here. You might even find like Bluetooth drivers, controller drivers, display, like, so we'll check this. May even find a better driver for the graphics card that we have, potentially. Now, I'm not sure, someone can comment and let me know. I don't know if the Game Ready drivers are for graphics card specific, or if it's actually for just optimization for the game. And here you can see all the different things, processors, software devices. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this after. I just wanted to show you storage controllers, system devices. This is one that I do find a lot of stuff that gets updated. A big one is like chipset drivers, for example. So we'll just do this, update driver. And so I was hoping to find one that actually had a driver. And anyways, if it finds a driver, it'll give you the option to update it. It'll update it, and then it's done. And that's all there is. And then you go to the next item. And the final task, if you have an antivirus, I have Bitdefender. I really recommend this antivirus. You go into protection. I recommend doing at least once a week, depending on how much you use your computer, system scan. Then when you're all done your system scan, there's other things that you could just double check. You can see if there's any threat detections or any just attempts to come in to your computer or your internet or access a link, basically. I also do have a VPN. You could, change access on almost everything. You can even create a file vault. That's really cool. And the one cool thing here too is one-click optimizer. You can optimize your device. And it's going to go through disk cleanup, registry cleanup, privacy cleanup. So we're going to optimize here, and everything's fixed. So we just cleaned 835 megabytes, which isn't a whole lot, but for someone who downloads a VOD, for example, that could be one VOD, and there's 22 issues remaining. So I don't know what those issues might be. So it just kind of shows a list here, actually, and that's awesome. It's really good stuff to know. Ignored, file in use. So there's some files being used right now that are affecting this, and that's fine too. If you close this out, you can also go into Startup Optimizer. I like to do this. It doesn't need to be done weekly, but this will help you choose kind of what all you need. So my boot time is 1 minute and 24 seconds. That's really good. You can change here. I have Epic Games disabled, so it won't launch on its own. I have Spotify disabled, Wondershare Helper disabled, Discord disabled. So for me, actually, there we go. So I downloaded Valorant. We have Riot Vanguard. I can disable that now. I honestly don't know what IA Stort icon is, so I'm going to have to go in and figure that out, actually. Intel Rapid Storage. Gotcha. Okay, so I can disable that as well. Or should I? No, I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to put delay. We'll just enable it. You know what? Screw it. And then we have the Realtek Audio and Argus Monitor. And so I'm going to do another video on Argus Monitor, but just to show you really quickly. Argus Monitor shows your data relating to temps. So my hard drive temp is 25, my GPU is 56, and my CPU is 31. I do have a Corsair H115i liquid cooler. And so we're going to go ahead and click OK. That's it. And now we have disk cleanup. This is a really good thing to do. So you can analyze your drive. So I have 2 drives here. We're going to get some more. Don't worry about that. It analyzes it very fast, and it will clean it up very fast. The one thing you have to pay attention to is what you're cleaning up in that drive. Okay, so here we go. So we have 139 gigs that my antivirus is saying that we could clean up. Unfortunately, I did clean these up before. I found out the hard way that these are textures and important files. Besides this one, I don't know what that is, but these texture packs are for Rainbow Six Siege. So if I go ahead and clean up those files, my antivirus says I don't need them. And so if I clean them up, I actually won't be able to start the game and I'll have to re-download them. So you could go 1 gig to 5 gig, and you can see the Ubisoft here. So there's sound effects, 500 megabyte, and there's Overwatch files, and now you get in. So these files I probably wouldn't do. And now here's the hard part, is that in my D drive I have separate games. Games that I don't play as often, I guess is the best way to put it. And so you'll see here again, Ghost Recon, Fortnite, Ghost Recon, and so it's textures that your computer's dictating. So I would definitely go through the SnowRunner. I definitely go through this and find for you what you don't need, and that's a good way to just clean up some stuff. If it's not related to a game, obviously there's other software that can kind of put this footprint on there. And that's basically it, guys. That's what I like to do for my tune-up Sunday, I guess is the best way to put it. And so we're going to go ahead and finish this video off by starting the system scan, just to give you an idea. So, and here's the system scan. So this is actually going to scan the entire system. It's going to scan everything, and you can see it's 1%. It's scanning fast because I do have an SSD. The antivirus can only scan so fast to begin with, though. And so we're going to let this run all the way to 100 and fix anything that needs to be fixed. And after that, we're going to go into each game. So I'm going to open Steam and show you this very quickly while this is running. So you go ahead and open Steam, and you're going to see what updates are there to be downloaded. Steam, for me, I have set not to download the updates automatically. This way there, it doesn't affect my ping or throttle my connection if I'm trying to play online or upload some content for you guys. And so by having the games update on their own, it can throttle that back. And it also depends on your connection. If I had a better connection, it would be an entirely different story. And here you go, guys. Play until Monday, 5/18 at 10 a.m. 25% off until Thursday. Fallout 76 Wastelanders, free weekend. That is an awesome promotion. It's Sunday, and I wish I would have caught that sooner. So you can go ahead and click library. Here's some of the games that I have right now, and there's actually none that need to be updated. But if something did need to be updated, where it says play, it would actually have an update icon, and then you would go ahead and download that. And your download manager would show you the updates and the queue of them. And it's a similar system for almost every launcher that you can get. And that's basically it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to let this finish. Check in my computer for viruses. Hopefully I don't have any. If you have any questions or anything you want to add or something that you think that maybe I should add to my routine to clean my computer, please let me know. And have a great week.